All right, since non-covered California enrollment started last Friday, we're talking about individual health plans. Here to tell us what we need to know is Medicare and health insurance expert Craig Gussin. Hey, Craig, welcome back to KUSI.
Good to see you, Paul.
All right, where are we specifically in the timeline as it relates to health care?
Well, health insurance for individuals, open enrollment on covered California was October 15th. Off covered California was Friday, November 1st. You have until December 15th to either renew your plan or to sign up for another plan or sign up for insurance to get a 1/1 effective date. If you don't do it by December 15th, then you have till January 31st and you have a February 1st effective date. After that, you cannot buy health insurance in California or the country.
Well, that's, I mean, first of all, that's a lot of information to process. Right. What's been the general reaction? I mean, if you listen to the Cover California side of things, yes, things are rosy. Expenses are being restricted. More people are being insured, and it's the model for the nation. Cover California should be Cover USA. Your response to that interpretation?
It sounds good on paper. California has done a great job overall. We have 5 companies. Some counties across the country have 1. So when you have 1 or 2 companies that you can look at, there's not a lot of competition. In San Diego, we do have competition. And for that reason, we saw Sharp, January 1st of 2020, having a rate decrease or a very small rate increase. I looked at all my individuals with Sharp. Half are having a decrease, the other half are having a very small increase. HealthNet, Kaiser, both are having very small increases. So what we're telling our clients is, look, if you want to save money, the world's a little bit different than it was prior to the Obamacare, the ACA. Everybody loved PPOs, but now they're going, okay, if my doctors are in the Sharp network and I go directly to a Sharp HMO, I can save money and get pretty much the same care. If I want to use Scripps, HealthNet has an HMO plan with the Scripps network, and you can see most Scripps doctors. Kaiser's Kaiser. So a lot of it is getting people to now understand 5 years down the road, that look at what you want. How often you go into the doctor? You know, I have a lot of clients that are females, and they say to me, I'm having a baby, I need better coverage. So we find them a better coverage. Now they're going, okay, that year's up. I don't need that greater coverage now because the baby's born and maybe we'll get a little less rich of a plan. The big thing we're just finding out is, you had Peter Lee on here, and he talked about how we're now covering up to 600% of your federal poverty level, which for a family of 4 is $154,000. And I'm thinking, wow, that's great. But what I discovered was, that's only if it's going to cost you more than approximately 10% of your income. You're going to get to that 400 to 600% range. San Diego's rates are lower than, let's say, San Francisco, which has one of the highest.
So we're not going to join that?
There's no way, because I spent weeks, and finally I had to call Covered California. I said, explain this to me. Why isn't it working for me? And then they explained it to me. There's a formula they use, and because of that formula, nobody in San Diego is going to get any money from the state.
But a lot of folks up in the San Francisco and LA are. And that was the problem I had with Peter is, you know, Mr. Lee, for those who don't know, he runs the Cover California program, and he's the grand poobah of all that. Yeah. And he is proud as punch as the way the system is working. But it still seems to me like we're taking money. You know, he kept referring to subsidies as if it was some magical money fairy that was bringing money. We're taking money from people with means and now the middle class to pay for people who don't have means. It's still income redistribution, is it not?
It is, to a point. What you're trying to do is get everybody insured. And I get it. Prior to the ACA, 85% of the people were insured. Now it's probably somewhere in the mid-90s. But again, we have more people on Medi-Cal. We have people getting subsidies, which is good. Everybody wants everybody to have insurance. But the question always comes down to, how are we going to pay for it? And that's been, I mean, if you listen to any, speech by any political person, they're always talking about all these different things. But the question always comes back, how are you going to pay for it? Elizabeth Warren just came out with Medicare for All and her numbers. But the question is, how are we going to pay for it? This is a start. But again, can we afford it? And that's always a concern I have. In California and San Diego, we have good rates. We have some low rates. We can get people insurance. It's just finding the plan that meets your needs. You know, we have platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. You don't want a bronze plan. It gives you 3 doctor visits for $75. Everything else has a $6,300 deductible. The silver and gold plan is really where everybody ends up going, unless you know you're going to have maybe hip surgery or have babies. I had a client who had twins, and we've got him the platinum plan because the maximum out of pocket was $4,000. So if you're going to pay $8,000 worst case to have twins, that's a lot better than having to come up with $14,000, $15,000. So be aware of your plan. Work with a health insurance agent. We're just like the doctors and hospitals. We get paid by the insurance companies to take care of you.
And come visit you.
They can come visit me, or they can reach out to the San Diego Association of Health Underwriters and meet and talk with an agent, because we're here to help.
Craig, thank you very much.
My
for your time.
pleasure. Good to see you.
I bet you we'll have this conversation a couple more times.
I think we will.
All right, we'll have more Good Morning San Diego right after these short but important